What's going on, everybody? How's it going? I hope you're all having an excellent day. And today we got to talk about a little bit of news regarding Sam Brinton, or as he's more commonly known as now, Joe Biden's non-binary bag bandit. Sam Brinton was hailed as a hero in the woke community. He was the first non-binary person entered into this administration, and it was very stunning and very brave, as we all know. But the problem with stuff like this is when you don't properly vet people and you give them positions based on wokeness, it might come back to bite you. And that's pretty much what happened with this person, this man selected through the Biden administration, because he's got a case of sticky fingers. Every time he walks into an airport, he seems to be walking out with other people's bags. And this happened, I think, twice last year until he was put on administrative leave from his position in the nuclear energy department, something like that. And he's being investigated by the FBI. But the story gets a little bit deeper than that, because this guy is so emboldened that he's actually stealing clothes out of women's bags, and then he's wearing them in the public sphere. And a fashion designer by the name of Aysa Khamsin, I hope I'm saying that right, has now identified him from him being in the public sphere, wearing her clothing that she custom made. She's a fashion designer and all that stuff, so she's custom making these clothes, which that's got to take a lot of work. I don't know anything about that process, but and then you get to see this weirdo wearing your stuff on in pictures, live TVs, going around the world. Probably on planes a lot. Every time it's like you go on the plane, you get a prize. It's a weird situation. It's not, and it can't even really be about the money for this guy, because I think they said his salary was like $170,000 a year. He's making way more than the average American, way more than the median income for this country. And yet he's still stealing women's clothes. But yeah, let's get into this article real quick, and then I'm going to show you some pictures and how this woman, Aysa Khamsin, identified him. Female fashion designer alleges Sam Brinton wore her clothing that disappeared from an airport in 2018. And I want you to keep that in mind too. This is 2018. This was before he was involved with the Biden administration or anything like that. But this really stands to reason. How many times has this guy done this? This is now the furthest back incident we know. This was, 4.5, 5 years ago now. So that's a long time ago. A female Tanzanian fashion designer based in Houston alleged Wednesday that clothing worn by former Department of Energy official Sam Brinton had been contained in her luggage that she reported missing in Washington, D.C. in 2018. Aysa Khamsin, who was designing and handmade her own clothing line for years, said she recently saw a report that Brinton had been charged with stealing multiple pieces of luggage across the country, and noticed that the former official appeared to be wearing her clothes in several photos. Khamsin said she had packed the same clothes in a bag that had vanished on March 9, 2018 at Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. I saw the images. Those were my custom designs, which were lost in that bag in 2018. She told Fox News, he wore my clothes, which were stolen. Khamsin added that she had flown to Washington, D.C. to attend an event where she was invited to put her clothing on display. However, the disappearance of her bag prevented her from participating. Which, that's just awful. Not only did this woman spend a ton of time making these clothes, and that's got to be a whole feat in itself, because making things like that are not easy. I know I'm impressed with people making stuffed animals off of Etsy, which, hey, that also takes a lot of skill. Anyone who has skills like that, it's terrible to get your clothes stolen. It's a lot worse when you're custom making the clothes and this is part of your livelihood. And because of this guy's sticky fingers, now she can't participate in this fashion expose. And then you got to see this guy wearing your clothes. Shortly after the apparent theft of her bag, she and her husband filed a police report with the Metropolitan Washington Airports Authority Police Department, but the case was never solved. They also filed a claim with Delta Airlines, which is the airline that she used to travel from Houston to Washington, D.C. And I don't really understand that either. I mean, there's so many cameras inside of airports. I mean, airports are supposed to be one of the tightest places for security ever. There's people around You'll be able to check the cameras. I'm sure from cameras, you can identify what bag it is and just see who walked off with it. That's what the first thing they should be doing when bags go missing. Have somebody go back and check the cameras. That's it. I mean, it's got to be like a 10, 15-minute window from when they go through the turnstile to, I don't know. I don't get it. But, so she's over on Twitter here, and you can see, here's Mrs. Aysa Khamsin with clothes that she made. And then here's Sam Brinton wearing the exact same thing on an article with the Telegraph. I mean, you're very, very bold. Very bold to do that. I mean, this guy being non-binary, he sure has a lot of balls. Or he's just, emboldened by his position. I guess, let's see, another design by her. Something on the runway where someone's modeling her clothes. And then here's Mr. Sam Brinton. Looks like he, I guess, redesigned the clothes a little bit. I think this lady wore it a lot better personally, but that's just me. Same picture again. These clothes have got to take a long time to make too. Oh, here we go. See this outfit right here. Same outfit. Very, very bold, this guy. And then there's up here, even this jewelry was taken in my lost bag. I guess this neck scarf thing. Fascinating stuff, really. And like I said, this is back from 2018. So who knows how many women have lost their luggage to this weirdo? Probably a lot. After seeing her clothing that resembled the ones in her lost bag, in recent media reports about Brinton, Khamsin filed a complaint with Houston Police Department. Houston police sent the case to the FBI in Minnesota. Khamsin's husband told Fox News. He called to say, "I'm with the FBI, I'm working on the case." Then my wife gave him the information. We didn't hear anything. We don't know whether the case is on. We don't know whether the case is cold. Well, it seems like it's heating up now, so. FBI declined to comment. As of publishing time, Brinton has not been charged with any crime related to Khamsin's claims. I mean, I'm not a detective. I don't have any detective skills at all, but this seems pretty black and white, especially since she's making the clothes herself. It's not like he could have just found these in a department store and have the same thing. These are custom made by this person. On October 26, Minnesota prosecutors charged Brinton with stealing a suitcase worth $2,325 from Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport baggage carousel in September. Brinton faced up to 5 years in prison for the alleged crime and was released without bail following a court hearing last week. Then in early December, Nevada prosecutors charged Brinton with grand larceny of an item valued between $1,200 and $5,000. Brinton was accused of stealing a suitcase with a total estimate worth of $3,670 on July 6th. Brinton was released after a judge set bail on the case at $15,000 and ordered Brinton to stay out of trouble. He should really be on a no-fly list, and he should stay away from airports. Now, this guy, he's got a lot of woke points. Obviously, his woke points are running out. I don't know if he's going to be charged in this because, the powers that be, this guy is non-binary. So, and he's a pillar of the woke community because it's so stunning and brave he got that job. I hope the guy's charged because this goes back to 2018. This guy could have stolen dozens of bags. These are the only 3 we know about. But anyway, that's my take. I hope they do throw the book at him because that's one of the worst things that can happen. You go to the airport, you lose your luggage, and that's going to ruin your entire trip. Especially for this poor woman who designs all her own clothes. It's awful. But anyway, that's my take. If you enjoyed the video, like the video. If you want to hear more like this, subscribe to the channel. If you didn't enjoy it, I appreciate you listening this long. And I will catch you all in the next one. Later.